Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video. I'm SephirothSword57, and today's video's topic is something that you have been requesting for quite a long time. Today I'm gonna be talking about anime. But instead of just talking about it, I'm instead going to make a tier list based on how good the anime is. Now, before I get started, I'm going to put on something a bit more fitting for the video. Just 1 second. Let's get started. The first one we're going to talk about is... Of course, we have to start talking about the most influential shonen of all time. Dragon Ball was a comedy turned shonen action high tension drama by everyone's favorite artist, Akira Toriyama, whose art can be found all throughout Japanese media, including video games like Tobal No. 1 for the PlayStation 1, which was released in 1996. It follows the Saiyajin Son Goku as he protects Earth from threats from different dimensions and galaxies, and he participates in cool martial art tournaments. But the best part about Dragon Ball is that it's still ongoing to this day. Thank you, Toriyama Akira. Dragon Ball goes into double S tier. Now, the reason why I didn't put it in triple S tier is because I am saving that slot for the best anime of all time. So, be patient and wait until later. Next up, we have Kimetsu no Yaiba, or Demon Slayer as some people call it. Now this one is pretty sugoi. I am sure you have all seen the good character designs and animation in the anime and manga. And it has become super duper popular lately. Good animation, good story, good characters. What else is there to say? A lot more actually. You see, I would have put this in triple S tier as you would have most likely expected from what I just said. But unfortunately that is not the case. Two problems here. First off is that the anime is released in seasons for some reason. This is extremely lazy and inexcusable, but it's not the Japanese fault. You can thank the West for that. This is the kind of practice that Americans invented for an excuse to be lazy. And they've been doing it for decades. But in the last couple of years, this kind of practice has been forced upon the Japanese as well. So you have to wait months or even years to be able to see more episodes of your favorite anime. Back in the day, I knew I was getting one new episode of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece every single week without any questions asked. When did this become acceptable? And secondly, the Kimetsu no Yaiba manga has already ended. That's right, it ended last year on May 18th. And it wasn't even in publication for 5 years. How miserable. How could anyone be satisfied with a story ending that didn't even have enough time to build up to it over time? And with that information, Kimetsu no Yaiba will have to go into B tier. The next anime is Kisses, specifically the OVA. This is a super funny anime with a lot of great characters. It's an anime about a love triangle between a guy and his two step-sisters, who are also twins. And a lot of funny stuff happens between them. I remember laughing so hard that my tummy hurt when I watched it the first time. It's an experience I remember fondly. And if you want to experience an anime in a high school setting with a lot of funny moments, then I recommend that you go and watch it. Kisses goes into S tier. And the next one is the first of the big three that we are tackling. Burichi. Burichi was an incredible manga by Kubo Taito. You might have noticed that I said was. That is because Burichi ended before it could properly be finished. This was due to uneducated Westerners who kept harassing Kubo Taito and his unappreciated magnum opus. So Shonen Young, who were understandably scared of Westerners due to previous historic events, had to make the decision to cancel the Burichi manga. Before things got out of hand, another reason why Japan should never care about opinions from Westerners. But with stunning character design and intense battle scenes, Burichi still holds up to this day and can be enjoyed by young and old no matter the age. So Burichi goes into double S tier. And the next one is Dr. Stone. Now this is a shonen that is very unique. All of humanity has been turned into stone, and after thousands of years they start waking up again. One human named Senku takes it upon himself to bring humanity back to where it was previously and to wake up all the stoned people. Now that is a premise that is impossible to resist. You all know about shonen power systems, right? For example, Dragon Ball has Ki, Naruto has Chakra, and Jojo has stands. So, what does Dr. Stone have? Science. Yes, you heard me right. What a banal idea. Not only is it just lazy and uncreative, but nobody wants to watch that. This made no sense and made me want to turn it off. I'm not some kind of nerd who wants to learn about science on their free time as entertainment. Gross. If they had a cool power system like a true shonen, then it would have been higher up on the list. But this objectively goes into B tier. The next one is Sword Art Online. It should be very obvious what I have to say about this one. It's incredibly sugoi. It was really popular when it came out and people loved it. But for some reason, people unnecessarily like to hate on this modern classic, especially untalented anime YouTubers who have zero analytical skills and are making these clickbait videos just to piss off the honest fans of the series to satisfy their own superiority complex. These people can't be trusted. So I'm telling you right now to go and watch and enjoy Sword Art Online. It's a series that popularized the isekai genre, and we have it to thank for all the cool and subarashi anime adaptations of isekai light novels. And that is why it goes into double S tier. Next up, we have Cowboy Bebop. Now, this one is also very easy. Cowboy Bebop had a lot of talented artists and animators working on it, not to mention writers. But what an absolutely abysmal anime. The reason for that is because it was aimed toward Westerners. And it lacks a lot of Japaneseness that you can find in any other anime. The Japanese writers were talented enough to know what appeals to the Western audience, but its end product ended up looking like a generic and boring American TV show. And the fact that there are people who unironically say that the English dub is better than the Japanese should really say something. But like I said before, it's still impressive that the creators were able to reach their goals perfectly. They were able to make an anime that appeals to Westerners and Westerners alone. And because of that, I respect Studio Sunrise for being able to do it. And I'm putting Cowboy Bebop in C tier. And here we have Nagatoro-san. I have been reading this manga for a couple of years now, and it's amazing. And this year we got the official anime adaptation of it as well. But since I've only seen the first episode, I can't talk too much about it, since this is an anime list and not a manga list. It's very kakui, funny, and kawaii, and so it goes into S tier. And now we follow up with Jojo no Kimi no Boken, or Jojo's Bizarre Adventure as it's called in English. It's a classic shonen from the golden era of Shonen Jump action anime shonen, the 1980s. It's really good, but it has a few huge and major flaws. First one is that they drop characters after every arc. What is the point of introducing new and cool characters just to get rid of them altogether at the end of the arc? It doesn't make much sense. Another bad one is that fights in Jojo doesn't last very long. 4 episodes minimum should be the standard in anime when it comes to fights. But the fight between Jotaro and Dio doesn't even last 3 episodes, and that is supposed to be the final fight of part 3. Come on now, Hirohiko Araki, you should have taken some notes while you were watching Dragon Ball. Still a good time though, especially part 7, Steel Ball Run. I put Jojo into A tier. The next one we're looking at is Boku no Hero Academia. This has almost everything to be regarded as a classic shonen that is able to stand besides the big 3. Great characters with awesome designs, very intense battles, and a lot more. But like I said earlier, it has almost everything needed to be a great shonen. The thing that is holding it back is the fact that it was inspired by boring and awful Western superheroes. Horikoshi Kohei should have been studying his own country's culture instead of watching garbage Marvel movies. And that is why Boku no Hero Academia needs to be put into C tier. Clearly not a series worthy of challenging the big 3. Oh, next up we have Ikitorsen. Now this one takes me back. This is actually the first seinen manga I've ever read, and it's a good one at that. For those of you non-swordlings who do not know, seinen is a genre that is targeted toward an older male demographic, instead of shonen that is targeted towards a younger male audience. Ikitorsen is a very impressive martial art manga with a great female cast. It has some really good and subarashi art that has an aspect to it that is really hard to look away from. You fellow male fans might know what I'm talking about. Now, unfortunately, Ikitorsen is no longer in publication, but there are a lot of anime series and the manga that went on for 15 years. So there's a lot of content for you to consume. Ikitorsen is a classic, and it goes into S tier. And now we're gonna talk about the second of the big 3. One Piece. A mainstay in the Shonen Jump magazine that has been going on since the 90s. One Piece is close to 1,000 episodes and is still going strong, currently being one of the most popular mangas in Japan. It has a great story, a breathtaking world, and well-written characters. The same can't unfortunately be said of the art, because Oda Ichiro is not a very good artist. This can be seen from his character designs and why the characters are so ugly. It's clear that from the beginning Oda should have hired a good artist to make the art, so he could have focused 100% on the world building and the characters. One Piece would probably be at the top of this list if that was the case. But since it isn't, it would have to go into S tier. We only have a couple left, my swordlings. Here we have Kobayashi Sanshi no Meido Dragon. I love this one, and I know that you all love kawaii anime females as well, so you will love it too. It's very charming and funny with a lot of good characters. The anime was made by Kyoto Animation, whose studio got burned down in 2019 by some maniac, and a lot of Kyoto Animation's work got ruined. So make sure to go and support them by watching Meido Dragon. It absolutely goes into double S tier. Now it's getting quite nostalgic. Hokuto no Ken, also known as Fist of the North Star. One of the first anime I watched as a child. Created by the dynamic duo Buronson and Tetsuo Hara, Hokuto no Ken was a very important manga for the industry back in the day. It's a shonen story aimed at a younger male audience that is about kindness and love, which is especially shown through its heroic and strong main character, Kenshiro. Even the opening, Aiwo Toromodose, literally means bring back love in English. And that is why Hokuto no Ken goes into double S tier. And here we are, the final one on the list, and it's Naruto. As you can tell by what I'm wearing, I am a huge fan of this series, and it is also the best anime ever made, which means that it goes into triple S tier. Why? That is something someone who never experienced Naruto before would ask. Perfectly designed characters, amazing world building, a story that's engaging from start to finish, and a power system that is deep and complex, yet easy to understand. Do I need to go on? Yes, actually, because Naruto is still ongoing to this day through its sequel, Boruto, and it's not even close to being finished. But that is all I want to say about Naruto, because I don't want to spoil anything. And there we have it, 15 animes objectively ranked. I'm sure for those of you who were curious about my anime tastes, got it answered in this video. And I'm sure that all of you found this very informative and interesting. Now, I know there are a lot of other animes that I could have listed on here, but the video would have gone on forever if that was the case. So I picked out the ones that I wanted to talk about at the moment. I have watched well over 350 different animes, and even more if you count manga. Now my question to you viewers would be, what is your favorite anime? Put it in a comment in the comment section below. I'm very interested in your picks. I hope you swordlings have a good night, evening, morning or day, and I will see you in the next video. Sayonara!